Hey, thank you again for checking out this channel. I'm just continuing a couple of videos that I had of things that I've been seeing over the past few years of things that may come to pass, and I wanted to kind of get people prepared for any surprises, and hopefully that you'll be able to not be hit too hard by coming events or any type of minor disasters, large disasters, just to keep you abreast of the ever changing climate in society today, because it's been a lot of chaos and a lot of negativity, and a lot of people seem to be attacking each other, and in many different ways, verbally, physically, land wise, people encroaching on properties. And so I wanted to kind of give a brief summary of what I saw regarding some things that may come to pass in America. And, like I always tell people when I talk, and I've helped them before with explanations of spiritual matters and spiritual vision, sights, things that are heard, things that are spoken. Many things sometimes are not set in stone. Sometimes you can change them with actions. You can change them with positivity, and also states and thoughts of mind help to assuage tensions at certain times. But also, sometimes what God has planned, usually has to happen in order for a change to occur, or an awakening to occur, or also shifts in power to help raise up people who have been oppressed, and kind of bring down people who have had for a long time and are doing the oppressing. So you take it how you'd like to, but I just want to share something that I saw, and it's actually something that we went through very recently. And I'll give you this little story. I used to have a prayer group with a few people who needed help, people who were having pretty hard times in their lives. And I don't just mean like having problems with jobs and relationships, romances, marriages, but people, close to death, people truly having spiritual attacks, and, things in their life were so bad that they just couldn't get themselves out of these situations. Help from God is needed, help from higher forces were needed, because their oppression was not just by the physical realm, there's also oppression in the spiritual realm. A lot of times when I see people being attacked by other people, or people being oppressed by other people, through my training, through my prayers, through my understanding in my life, I know that where there are puppets doing works, there's usually a puppet master behind the scenes, and a lot of those puppet masters are on the spiritual realm. And I say that to people who are doing wrong, who are targeting people, whether it be jealousy, whether it be envy, whether it be stealing, whether it be physical attacks, violence. Sometimes you have to stop and think, why am I doing this? A lot of times you're doing the work for an entity that you cannot see, and that entity is trying to stop someone who may be able to do a whole lot of good in the world. And, this is the thing. I've seen many good people commit suicide because of attacks from the spiritual realm and the physical realm, which I know that the physical realm is actually being pushed by the spiritual realm. I know you heard that term, as above, so below type things. It's Prince of the Power of the Air, all these different scriptures. A lot of times people feel that these things don't exist, but when you see them, when you've witnessed them, when you've seen people die, when you see people get sick, when you've seen a lot of loss, and you actually seen the entity behind it, you view life in a different way and perspective that those who may not have seen that, they're going to call these people that see these things crazy or they don't understand. And so I just wanted to touch on that because during that prayer group, I remember we did lose somebody. But one thing that did occur during this time, and blessings and love to their family, I want to keep everything private because for their own, emotions and their well-being. But I just wanted to touch on a situation that happened at the time. I would have to say that, the pandemic came in 2020. 2020, the pandemic came. I had a friend named, and I won't say his name because he may not want me to say it, but he was praying and he was actually given the dream. Now, in this dream, he said he was sitting in a chair and he said these doctors were trying to stab him with needles. And he said he fought off one doctor and another doctor came behind and jabbed him with the needle. He got him. And he said he grabbed his arm and said, "Ow, why'd you do that?" And the doctor said, we got to give out all these, we have to give out all of these vaccinations. And at this time, this man, he was a person of color. And he said, even these injections are even going to kill a lot of black people, these vaccinations. And it did kill a lot of black people and did kill a lot of other races over the world. It was a worldwide pandemic and death toll. But the entities that spoke to him were specific to his ethnic culture. And so what happens here is, as we move forward, I told him, I said, that dream is something that's not that's not an ordinary dream for you. You should write that down. He wasn't used to recording dreams and keeping a log of things that he saw. So I wrote it down in my journals and noted it to him. But this was in around 2019. He received that dream, maybe in October or November of that year. So as we go forward, 2020 came. Around February, the pandemic started. So what happened was, all of us in that prayer group, we were given warning that a pandemic was coming. And it did. And so now what I'm doing is giving this to you. Because around last year, or maybe this year, I have to go check my records, I was given a dream of a pandemic occurring and people putting on masks and the world going into another shutdown. But this pandemic was not as bad and it was not as long as the last one, the first one. That last one lasted maybe about 2.5 years that the world was not fully functioning at full capacity. And so what we have now is we're going to have a pandemic of a smaller size and lesser length of time. And so what I would suggest, and like I said in the prior video regarding the nuclear threat, I would tell you not to panic, not to, because like I said, sometimes, and this is the thing, sometimes a person will tell you the future and it doesn't come true, or it doesn't, this is the thing, it's not that they're fake, not that they're false prophet, because sometimes things can be changed. Sometimes things happen. Mercy happens. Interventions happen. Grace happens. Sometimes things step in the way to stop disasters from occurring. And once again, if you believe in God, miracles happen. So I just want to say that this is just a warning. Preemptive action can be taken in order to try to assuage any damages, deaths. Now a little bit that it may come, and so preparation. And I'd have to say that the best thing to do is follow the protocols that you had last time with masks and sanitation and really looking after older people, watching your spacing around other people. And so I even expect that this may occur before any type of nuclear threat. So hopefully we don't have anything like that, but that's just something that I saw in the future coming towards us, and maybe relatively sooner than the last one. But there's a delay. There's going to be a delay in the world, a slowing down and a stopping of it. And I hope that this helps some of you out. I don't know if anyone else has seen anything like that, but I just saw another pandemic in the works. So I hope that you all are safe. You're feeling bliss and you're happy and you're living well. And anyone going through any problems, our prayers, our love, our energy goes out to you. And I hope that you overcome it swiftly and you're better than you were when you started out. And I thank you for taking the time to listen to this.